Be strong. I'm a girl. You need to be reminded I'm a girl. Don't be mistreating the women. Just a reminder that I'm a girl. That's Cher Winkley right here on Guts Gospel United Say, a song called I'm a Girl. We are living in a day when people don't respect life at all. It's important to remind folks that life is worth respecting. We respect all kinds of other life. Like it's not a person. We'll respect animal life. We'll respect the environment, so to speak. But, when it comes to respecting human life, it seems like that's just whatever. You should have tried to get out the way. Beware your own self. That kind of thing. And we want to make sure that we don't do that. By the way, you are tuned in to Guts Gospel United Say, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm Nikki V. The number to call, 877-217-5375. That's 877-217-5375. Option number 2 will get to broadcast when we are live. And if we're not, I'll let you know when our next live broadcast will be. We're in a regular major series of developing leaders around you. We're talking about making sure that we provide for those who are leaders around us the things that they need or that they desire. But we look for the leader within a person. Then we'll be able to spot leaders in almost everyone. It takes a leader with vision to see the future leader within the person. Now, if you can't see a future leader in people, chances are you have no vision. Or your vision is very narrow. It doesn't go beyond the scope of who you are. But if you have a broad vision, or if you have a God vision, you will be able to find the future leader within people. There is no future in any job. The future lies in the person who holds the job. It takes a leader with vision to see the future leader within the person. Michelangelo, when questioned about his masterpiece David, answered that the sculpture had always existed within the stone. He had simply chiseled away the rock around it. Leaders must have the same kind of vision when viewing potential leaders. Some of the qualities to look for in a person include the following. Positiveness. The ability to work with and see people and situations in a positive way. Servanthood. The willingness to submit, play team ball, and follow the leader. Growth potential. A hunger for personal growth and development. The ability to keep growing as the job expands. Follow through. The determination to get the job done completely and with consistency. Loyalty. The willingness to always put the leader and the organization above personal desires. Resiliency. The ability to bounce back when problems arise. Integrity. Trustworthiness and solid character. Consistent words and walk. Again, qualities to look for in a person who is a potential leader. Positiveness, servanthood, growth potential, follow through, loyalty, resiliency, integrity, big picture, the ability to see the whole organization and all of its needs. Big picture mindset, not small, looking at it from the whole thing, not just the little corner of the world they happen to be in. Discipline, the willingness to do what is required regardless of personal mood. Yeah, you know those people. I don't feel good, I'm not doing it. If everything's not perfect, if all the surroundings aren't exactly conducive to what I'm doing, I'm not going to get involved. Discipline says, even though things don't seem like they should, even though I don't have everything just like I want it, even though I may be feeling tired or pain in my body, I'm disciplined enough to know that we've got to go through what we've got to go through. The show must go on, if you will. And sometimes people say, well, doesn't that make you more of an entertainer than a minister? No, that makes me somebody with discipline. It's terrible that entertainers have more discipline than ministers. Just saying. Gratitude, an attitude of thankfulness that becomes a way of life. Now, when searching for these traits within a person, the leader should emulate gold prospectors. They are always on the look for potential gold mines. Every mountain is a possible opportunity to strike it rich. When they find traces of ore, they assume there's a vein and begin digging. Just as I have told other pastors, there's gold in them thou pews. The same is true in every organization. If you as a leader look for and find traces of gold in your people, start digging. You will uncover a mother lode. But you've got to believe that there's something in them worth finding. If you think that the people who you serve with don't have any value, you won't find value in them. You won't even look for value in them. You'll actually dismiss them as being valueless. And oftentimes we do that in ministry. We only see the negative, can't find the good, and discard that one person who could have made all the difference in the world. Don't do that. By the way, you are tuned into Guts Gospel Not Safe, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki B. I want to remind you that this is October, and during this month, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we want to let you know that there is a partner of ours who is indeed raising funds, and we would love for you to help us raise funds for Memorial Regional Cancer Institute. Panera Bread is selling the Go Pink mugs as well as a Pink Ribbon Bagel. Pink Ribbon Bagel, by the way, is a cherry vanilla bagel. It is absolutely delicious and worth every penny. 10% of the bagel and $3 from every mug is donated to breast cancer research to Memorial Regional Cancer Institute. Now, the mug is $11.95, but it's a gorgeous mug. It is worth every penny. And they've added an extra bonus, and that each guest will get free coffee for the entire month of October because they have, and they bring back that Panera Breast Cancer Awareness mug. Their coffee is absolutely wonderful. It's a great way to support. So go ahead and go to Panera Breads and get your Go Pink mug, get your Pink Ribbon Bagel. Of course, I am asking that you would go to 5975 North Federal Highway, and that is south of Imperial Point Hospital. And they are the Panera Bread that partners with us and helps us in our fight against hunger in the South Florida area. So we do thank God for them, and to make a difference in the world. Now, we left off when we were talking about the blessing passes to Jacob, about a solitary place, talking about the fact that sometimes we think that we're all by ourselves, and this is a horrible, terrible time for us because nothing seems to be going our way. But it's in that particular time, during that particular window, that you can have your most rewarding encounter with God. Now, in Genesis chapter 28, verse 1a, and then verses 10 and 11. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted there all night because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for pillows and lay down in that place to sleep. Now, perhaps, now Isaac resigned himself to what his wife Rebekah told him was the Lord's will all along, that the older would serve the younger and that Jacob and not Esau would receive the birthright. So Isaac sent Jacob on with the blessing and instructions, in obedience to the father's command to seek a wife, but also in compliance with his mother's counsel to evade the wrath of Esau. Jacob set out on his journey toward Haran. As he traveled on, he came to a place where he was obliged to stop all night because the sun had set. Jacob had probably intended to reach Luz, but he opted to stop and rest for the night. The words "he lighted upon a certain place" indicate he apparently accidentally, yet divinely appointed, the choice of this place for his night quarters, for the place had already been consecrated by one of Abraham's altars. Jacob took some of the stones and made them his pillow or head place. You don't know when you're going to run up on something sacred, especially when you are troubled. Oftentimes we miss the place of blessing and don't know that we're there because we're troubled about the things that are happening and things that have happened in our past. Yet God wants to pass the blessing on to us. How can we accept and receive the blessing if we don't even know it's near? It's important that we think about that when we're facing our troubles and our tribulations, that we might end up finding rest in that weary place, and the place that we're finding rest is the place of blessing. You are tuning in to Guts Gospel United States, a variety talk show from the Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki V, and we thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast and being a part of what God is doing right here and right now. Just a quick reminder, October is also Clergy Appreciation Month, and we'll be visiting the Fort Lauderdale Multicultural Church of God in Christ. Two very special people on this week. We'll be going to Global Life Ministries on Friday, October 25th, and celebrate Apostle Calvin Hamilton in his 12th pastoral anniversary at 7:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, the Fort Lauderdale Multicultural Church of God in Christ will render services at New Mount Zion anniversary at 4 p.m. The theme for that day is Fishers of Men, and found in Matthew 4:19. The colors are red and white, and we'd love to see you with us there. By the way, are you ready? I'm ready. Bridget Taylor in the background. You are tuning in to Guts Gospel United States, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki B. You ought to be ready. I'm ready. Bridget Taylor. All right. Inside I know. Upon the cross, lost, cried, therefore, paid it all. Oh, oh. Lost, you cried, you paid it all. Yeah, you paid it all. We thank God for Wes Morgan. A song called You Paid It All. And I tell you, Jesus paid it all on the cross. And for that, I am indeed grateful. I do want to get into a little news. You can use something I find interesting. Maybe you will as well. And then we'll get back into some of our series discussion. And that's the 10 things to know for today. Your daily look at late breaking news, upcoming events, and the stories that will be talked about on today. 1. Germany summons U.S. ambassador over spying allegations. The defense minister says Europe and the U.S. can't return to business as usual after allegations that the chancellor's cell phone was monitored. Website contractors blame Obama administration. Executives of the company that built the problem-plagued health insurance online marketplace will testify before a House committee. And number 3, FDA needs help from pet owners and vets. The agency is trying to find the poison behind the deaths of 580 dogs and the sickening of thousands. Number 4, what's helping consumers make better food choices? A nutritional rating system using gold stars on price labels on grocery store shelves appears to have shifted buying habits. Number 5, Syria releases female detainees. An activist group says the government has freed dozens of women in prisoner exchange involving Lebanon, Turkey, Qatar, and the Palestinian Authority. Number 6, Kennedy cousin wins new trial in 1975 death. A judge rules Michael Scales' attorney failed to adequately represent him when he was convicted in 2002. Number 7, soft-spoken Massachusetts teenager accused of killing teacher. Officials recover the remains of a 24-year-old victim in the woods behind the school. Why the 747 could be flying into the sunset. Most airlines prefer two-engine jets that use less fuel than the big four-engine planes. Number 9, reverse call helps Red Sox to victory. The second base umpire is overruled by the rest of the crew, paving the way for Boston's 8-1 rout of St. Louis in Game 1 of the World Series. Number 10, Who needs high-dose flu shots? Experts say regular vaccinations tend to be only about 30 to 40% effective in people 65 and older. So if you're over 65, you probably need the high-dose flu shot. We do thank God for each and every one of you tuning into the broadcast. You are the guts, Gospel United Save, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki V, and we do thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast and being a part of what God is doing right here and right now. We've been talking things and we've been digesting a few different things, and we thank God for those of you who are developing leaders around you. One of the things that we want to talk about is to place an emphasis on production and not position and title. Oftentimes in church, our emphasis is on position and title. So you have people who have a position and have a title, but actually do nothing. I thought I'd pause for a moment because I could hear some people losing their mind. I could hear some people saying, no, she didn't. I could hear some people saying, oh my God, she just talked about my church. Nevertheless, if you want to develop leaders around you, leaders who are going to be effective, leaders that are going to do stuff, leaders that are going to accomplish things, then the emphasis has to be on the things that are done, not the position or the title. Organizations that place great emphasis on titles and position are teaching their employees to do the same. Now, I know when we're talking about church, we're saying employees, no one's getting paid, people are volunteering. Well, some places they do get paid, but nevertheless, some places they don't. The idea, though, is to minister as if you were working, because after all, even though you may not be receiving a paycheck from the people that you are doing the work for, you are still working for God, and payday is coming after a while. Employees in that type of environment can often become preoccupied with moving up the ladder to the next position or with receiving a more important sounding title. So the goal is not to do work, but to get to the next rung of the ladder. When it comes down to it, titles are worth little. A lofty title doesn't help a poor producer. A lowly title doesn't hinder a super producer. Position, like a title, doesn't make a leader either. Now, in developing the leader within you, meaning developing your own self as a leader, we describe the 5 levels of leadership. There's 5 of them. 1, position. 2, permission. 3, production. 4, personnel development. And 5, personhood. And it's 5 P's. Position, permission, production, personnel development, and personhood. Now, position is the lowest level. A person who stands on his position will never have influence beyond his or her job description. Seniority also provides little in and of itself. A survey was recently conducted by Account Temps, a temporary personnel service and placement organization. Executives and personnel directors were asked for the most influential factors in evaluating an employee for promotion. Now, here go the results. 66% named specific accomplishments. Productivity. 47% named general work habits and performance. Still, productivity. And only 4% cited seniority as being important. Position. Time on the job is no substitute for production in the job. In an organization emphasizing production, attention and energy are devoted to doing the job and doing it well. There's a team atmosphere with accomplishing the mission of the organization as the goal. That is the kind of climate where leaders can emerge. As Charles Wilson, the president of General Electric, has said, no matter what size the bottle, the cream always came to the top. It didn't matter what size, the cream always came to the top. There are things that are they just are. And if you want to develop leaders around you, there are things that you just must do. Understand, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be titles. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be positions. I'm just saying the emphasis can be on titles and positions. Because if your emphasis is on titles and positions, you may find yourself in a place where no work is getting done. Because everybody's busy trying to get title and position. If the emphasis is on doing the job, then we all work together to accomplish the job because there's a goal, there's a mission. And everybody understands it. That's why it's important to have a vision, make a plan, so they may run and not faint. And we thank God for each and every one of you tuning into the broadcast. You are tuned in to Guts, the Gospel United Saved, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki V, and we are grateful to all of you who are partnering with us, all of you who have taken the time to work with us and to support us. We are grateful for so many who are listening in and tuning in, who are helping to cause the broadcast to grow by leaps and bounds, who are spreading the word, who are telling people where to go and how to get there so that they might be able to tune in to the broadcast. Thank you for being partners with us and helping us out. We thank God for Fresh Market and Panera Breads, and we thank God for Raven Ministries. We thank God for Keep It Real Outreach Ministry. We thank God for Fort Lauderdale Multicultural Church of God in Christ, New Covenant, a Solid Rock District, Eastern Florida jurisdiction, and various other components who oftentimes will be there and come to my aid. We are grateful for having such a cadre of support and such a team of support. We are encouraging you all to help us and support us as well. You are tuned in to Guts, Gospel United Saved, a variety talk show with a Christian point of view, hoping that you will have the guts to tell somebody about Jesus. I'm your host, Nikki V. We'll be right back after this.
I do have something. I have time. You can give any skill you have.
You can give any skill you